Alright, in case you didn't know, these are the worst vinyl collecting fucking videos ever. Ever. They're horrible. I left off with some reggae. This one you can't even really see it, but it's Oswald, a new chapter of dub. Haven't even listened to it. A good friend of mine gave it to me, said that I should have a copy of it, and I have it. But I still haven't listened to it, so sorry. Then I have the soundtrack to the movie Rockers. Awesome movie. It has Inner Circle, Jacob Miller, Gregory Isaacs on there, and it's a really awesome movie. Bunny Wailer, he does the title track Rockers on there. Yeah, it's you should check it out if you haven't seen it. And then I'm getting into a little bit of like getting out of reggae, two-tone, coming into like sophistipop with the Funboy 3. These are the cats that were in the specials, along with sorry, but yeah, this is a really good album. They did stuff with like they're like basically the start of Bananarama, and you know, it's weird, man. What do you, there's like no information on this at all. The Best of Flamboy 3, I got this one because it has their version of Our Lips Are Sealed, which I later found out that was Terry Hall wrote that with Jane Wielding from the Go-Go's. Obviously a bigger hit for the Go-Go's, but man, their version fucking rules, and I love it. Just check it out if you haven't heard it. And then we move from Terry Hall into his next thing, and that is the Color Field. It's a band that he did right after that, I believe. So it was like Specials, Funboy 3, Color Field. This record, Virgins and Philistines, it's a good record too. This has Can't Get Enough of You Baby. It's a Question Mark of the Mysterians cover. And this is also, that's the song that I think that band Smash Mouth ruined. But if you listen to this version and the Question Mark, this one's pretty fucking great, man. The Color Field. All right, furthering on into a lot of these roots of these bands that I got to. So, you know, earlier we were talking about the Jam and the Merton Parkas, Nick Talbot and Paul Weller, and they created this act, the Style Council. This is My Ever-Changing Moods, and just for that title track alone, fucking awesome. Blue Cafe, this is a great record. Then we have the Style Council, the Internationalists, which they played actually that song. I think that was the first song. They were the second act to play in Live Aid right after Status Quo. The only reason I know that's because a while back I watched the whole fucking concert on YouTube because I was, you know, I don't know, I think it was a guy I stopped smoking weed and I just couldn't sleep anymore. What do they call that? Insomnia. But anyways, this is a good record, you know. And again, this is like really, really like image orientated, like showing people like this is how you dress, you know. You want to know how to dress? Fucking pay attention to Paul Weller and he'll teach you. And this is the mini LP, Style Council. It's really, really good shit. And then we got one more, Style Council. This is Walls Come Tumbling Down. I saw him years back at the Wiltern, Paul Weller, and he closed with this, and it was fucking amazing. You know, full chorus in the back, like 3 gospel singing chicks, and horn section, and just awesome. You know, just like soul revival, but done, you know, by an Englishman. Good stuff. All right. Then we turn a corner here a little bit into opening up a big world of you know, sophistipop, and you know, a lot of big influences down the road, you know, really pivotal band. This is the Orange Juice. It's a single, Love, Love, and it also has Moscow, which is, man, I love that song. It's an instrumental, and it just has everything, you know, that this genre speaks to me about. You know, it's really great. These guys influenced, you know, everything from Echo and the Bunnymen to the Smiths to the Stone Roses to the Verve, Oasis, everything, and they never really got any bigger than, you know, maybe having a low charting hit with this next song on this title track for this album, "Rip It Up," by the Orange Juice, and just really, really good. Like, kind of, it's, they're from Scotland. They had their own thing, and they came about at a time, and they basically, like, if you see bands where it's like, oh, this is, look at that pretty boy, or listen to this, they kind of sound like they're, poppy, but they're kind of gloomy, kind of whatever. They learned it from this band. Then another band kind of going away. I know I should have like a lot of Scots put together, but it's just the way that I like to listen to them and how my introduction to this whole scene. The next big one for me was Prefab Sprout. This is their first album, Swoon, and it's kind of way different than that, but still it's like that real nice, sophisticated pop. Like, when you think of sophistopop, when I do, it's like it's smooth, it's pretty, it's kind of arrogant, but they use like either, I don't know, maybe their choice of language is a little different, and but the songwriting on this, it's amazing, man. It's really, really good. Kind of all over the place with this first album. And then their second album, this album's just perfect. Steve McQueen. This is the English album, produced by Thomas Dolby and Farron. The first side alone, this could just be side one and just be perfection. Farron Young, Bonnie, Appetite, When Love Breaks Down, Goodbye Lucille, Number One, and Hallelujah. Like, if you haven't listened to this, check it out. It's just, and it sounds timeless. Like, it still sounds great today. Like, it could be, this album could come out today and they would be huge. And then this is the American version, Two Wheels Good. I was looking for these albums all over the fucking place, and I found this at a record show for like $4. I thought it was a mistake. I picked it up and I ran out the door. Prefab Sprout, awesome. Getting back to Scotland with that, kind of jangle pop, sophistopop, Aztec Camera. Their first album, Highland Hard Rain. Fucking awesome, man. Just really, really great songwriting. Again, the template for a lot of other stuff to come in the 80s and even 90s, thinking about stuff like Pulp, Ride, The Verve, like all that stuff, like, Britpop. These guys, they started that shit. There's a single, Oblivious, Aztec Camera. Really, really, amazing song, man. Super catchy, lots of hooks, just really good, beautiful sounding music. Here we go. Aztec Camera, Knife. I think this is the one that was produced by Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. Was it? Yeah, it was. Some more, just Roddy Frame, amazing songwriter, great singer, and has the whole package, back then. Like, if you think of like, a singer-songwriter with fucking hair like Echo or Psychedelic Furs, any of that shit, they got it from these dudes. Altered Images, Happy Birthday. This has the song, Happy Birthday. Pretty popular. Another little Scott band that kind of got big, Top of the Pops or whatever, but I just got it for that song. It's because it's good. This is a little comp that I found. If the shoe fits, it's good, man. It has Gang of Four on there, Echo and the Bunnymen, Aztec Camera, Laurie Anderson. It's really, really good. I think it was put out on, it's Warner, but through Rough Trade, And then we got a Rough Trade creation record compilation called I Love the Smell of Napalm. This is a really good compilation. Primal Scream, Biff Bang Pow, Jasmine Minx. It's got this other, what is it? The Revolving Paint Dream. That's another band on there that, I never heard of a lot of these bands. A friend of mine turned me on to this, who owns a record store, sold it to me and said, man, you should check this out. If that's all the stuff you're looking for. Got it. Was not at all disappointed. Amazing shit. Good artwork too. Like, it's awesome. It looks like a classic like 90s release that came out way before that. This kind of a good sleeper find for me. A revisit. My older brother had a bunch of shit by these guys, the Soup Dragons. This is our art, and I almost didn't buy this because I didn't like the cover. You know, I was like, man, this does not look like it's going to be good. I fucking love this record, man. It's so good. Look at that. These songs, this band, like, you know what? Oasis wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for this band. And why they didn't get bigger, who knows? You know, maybe it was because the Stone Roses came in and stole everything, which they deserve. I mean, Stone Roses are great. I'm not gonna lie, but this band, and I don't like the name, the Soup Dragons. It just didn't, you know. I remember a lot at that time there was like Material Issue, the Soup Dragons, the Candy Skins, all these bands, and I was like, man, these sound like a bunch of fucking pussies, you know. Like, I don't like the names, the Pixies, like. But then listening to their songs, it was like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking amazing records, man. The Soup Dragons, this is a compilation of their stuff. Hang 10, nowhere near as good as that record. This is our art, but you know, again, found it at the same time, and it's like no one was looking for this shit. It's like super cheap, and it shouldn't be, because, you know, it's funny how you go and you try to buy Blur records right now, and they're like, you know, outrageously priced, and then it's like, oh, what about the bands that influence the Blur and are actually better than them? Find that shit, because it's, you know, it's cheaper and it's better, and it's the roots of it. This band called Felt, Gold Mine Trash, really, really good. I'm gonna get this other album by this band, Joseph K, too. Kind of reminds me of this. This isn't so jangly, but it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like kind of like punk rock Smiths. It sounds like early, like, I don't know if you ever heard of K Records, but there's this band Lync, Lync, that came out, and I remember seeing them, and I remember buying their record, and I don't have it anymore, and it fucking sucks because you can't find it anywhere. But it sounded like that, like real, like, you know, like Tortoise or the Sea and Cake, you know, like thrill jockey shit that came out in the 2000s, late 90s. But this band just has that like shoegazy, like pre-shoegaze sound, and it's awesome. And on here too, there's a compilation. This song, what is it? Primitive Painters. It was produced by Robin Guthrie and has Elizabeth Fraser from the Cocteau Twins singing on it. Not the best song on here, but kind of cool. But the rest of this album, it's awesome, man. You gotta check that shit out. Now I get into a little bit of some bands from Hull. This is a band called the Red Guitars. What's the name of it? Slow to Fade. Really, really good shit. You know, kind of that jangle pop, out of sophisticated pop. I don't know. There's so many fucking labels and genres. It's just as good. You know, it's the way I see it. It's like, is it aggressive? Can you dance to it? Is it going to make you want to slit your wrist? That's kind of the way I categorize music these days. But anyways, the Red Guitars, band from Hull, and this album, it's fucking great. I found this too, and it was like fucking $5, man. No one gives a shit about this band. It's awesome though. And then Tales of the Expected, the Red Guitars. This one's a little bit more produced, but again, sounds amazing. Like really, really good songwriting. Just, you know, kind of, I don't know, like I'd say like early U2, but in a good way, you know. This should be somewhere else, a little bit later, but the Go-Betweens, this record's perfect. It's awesome. 16 Lovers Lane, just really great. I think they're Aussies, and just amazing, man. Just really, really good songwriting. Kind of like Prefab Sprout meets, I'm actually going to put it in a different spot right now. Where can I put it? And when did it come out? 88 or... Yep, 1988 on Beggar's Banquet. Just really, I don't know, man. I'm going to put it somewhere else. Remind me not to show it to you again. Another band. You know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to do this on the next one.